Wrestling freaks, fans, and friends, it's the Pope of Plastic here. Guess where I am? You're getting used to this now. On Fridays, I'm at Harry's Hobbies in Norton, Massachusetts. I keep saying this, one of the greatest hobby shops, not even in New England, not even in the United States, but in the world. Harry has it. If he doesn't have it, you don't need it. Stop looking. It just doesn't exist, most likely. Best place in the world, favorite place to be on a Friday. And what are we going to do today? This is what we're doing. Our series, we're in series number 3, video number 3 of unboxing vintage kits. Now listen, something important. Just because I'm unboxing these things does not mean they're great kits. Actually, I would prefer it's a crappy kit because I can have more to comment about. If it's a great kit, I mean, it gets kind of boring. So, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to unbox some great kits. We're just pulling out whatever we can, whatever we see. It really doesn't matter what the subject matter is. It's just if it's a kit from the past that maybe I was interested in a kit as a kid, or it was a model that was out of reach for us when we were youngsters and our parents wouldn't buy it for us, or whatever. But it doesn't matter if it's a boat, a car, plane, whatever. We're just pulling out interesting kits to share with you all. And it's been a lot of fun. We've done some really cool kits so far. And look, he's got 9 million of them. So we're going to be doing this for a while. Will I mix in some new kits? Probably. When something really interesting comes out, I'll do a review of it. But for now, we're going to have fun looking at stuff from the past. And today I have a true treat for you. This one is going to be a lot of fun. From the fantastic and wonderfully bad Lindberg Model Company, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a treat. This is the Blue Devil Destroyer. Now, back in the day, this kit in the 70s probably, this was probably a $50 kit in the 1970s. I don't know what year this is. I'm imagining this is early 70s. But this kit was certainly out of reach. My parents were not going to buy me this thing. But I'm sure there was some rich kids out there. The parents bought it for them, and this was the prize Christmas gift under the Christmas tree. But who knows? I remember this kit, never was able to obtain it. And the cool thing about this is that you could make it remote control. And it was motorized, which is really cool. And Lindberg, I think, did a few kits like that. But I don't remember ever building a Lindberger, just like the cheese, not something people are big fans of, but some interesting subject matter, we'll say. But just because you have good subject matter doesn't mean the execution is good. I can tell you that much. Anyway, let's open this thing up. First, we're going to look at the box. Look at how cool this box art is. Just alone, it's worth buying this kit. And if you're interested, please contact Harry over here at Harry's Hobbies, Toys and Collectibles here in Norton, Massachusetts, because I'm sure he'd probably give you a good deal on this thing. But just for the box art, I'd buy this, because the older kits, look, have the best box art, from the 70s and 80s. The box art was always amazing, and once you got into the kit, you realize, well, it doesn't match the box art. So let's open this thing up. We have nothing on the sides. It just has the Lindbergh logo. I'm going to keep calling it Lindberger. The Lindbergh logo. We got a kind of a blow up of the center section of the deck on here. Motorized Blue Devil Destroyer. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to spin this back around. We're going to open this up. This is a complete kit. Where we have the hull and the deck portion. Now, let's look at this hull. It is raised panel lines, which on a boat kit, I don't really mind too much, because on the real thing, the panels were kind of raised because they were welded together. This isn't an aircraft where everything is, butt fit and riveted and all that. These are, so it's got raised panel lines. So far, that's not a big deal. Not a whole lot of detail in the deck. Here's where you're going to have your props and everything, and your working rudders coming out of there. Here's the deck. Now let's look and see how the deck is molded. Again, you have the big welded seam lines, which is not a negative when it comes to a ship model, because that's fairly accurate. The details on where the gunner stations are, kind of chunky, molded kind of chunky. We do have injection pen marks. Yeah, throughout we have injection pen marks, which if you know me and know my model building, I hate injection pen marks, but not bad. These aren't hard to get to, so you can easily sand those out, or you could fill those with a putty. So not a big deal. So far, so good. Now I don't know about the fit on this thing. This is a big model, by the way. Just in sheer size, this would be cool. The fit looks pretty good. It's supposed to fit inside. Not bad, not bad. I'd give it a C+. Okay, so now we're going to take out, here's where the goodies are. This is where the excitement happens. This is where the rubber meets the road. Let's see, how do we open it? Very sturdy cardboard box. Let me move the deck over here. What scale is this, by the way? I didn't even mention the scale. They do not, the scale, I don't know what the scale is. I'm going to say it's, I don't know. Somebody out there in the YouTube world will tell me what scale it is. I have no idea. It's 3 feet long. We know that. Okay, here we go. Into the box. Here's the instructions. This is where we're going to find out what, here's your instructions. This is a complete kit, by the way. So Harry and the team here, Steve and everybody, go through all these kits, and they make sure every part is here before they sell it to the public. If it doesn't have all the parts, they're going to let you know. It doesn't have this, it doesn't have that. And then the price will be reflected if it's missing something. And a lot of times you're missing a piece, it's 1 or 2 pieces, and you can refabricate those on your own. So anyway, so we got our instruction sheet. Talks about the history. That's the way all model instructions usually start out. Here's your assembly instruction. It's kind of pseudo photographed for the assembly, which is good. You're kind of looking at a representation. Yeah, no, these are pictures, but they're enhanced. Really cool. The instructions look really great. I'm going to say this is the same size as the Titanic model. I'm going to say this is a 1/350 or a 1/250, I'm going to say, if I were to guess. Instructions look good. And a lot of, now remember we looked at, I did an unboxing of another kit the other day, and there was no writing. It was just all, I think it was the Hurricane. It didn't have any writing at all. You were just looking at, the build assembly images, and, and sometimes people prefer that. And some people prefer as much information as possible, like on a Zuke Mura kit, where the details are very have a lot of writing, because they're telling you a lot of precise information about each piece and where it goes and how it lines up, which is, something that's very, very important. So, look, this has a lot of information on how to build it, which is good. So I would encourage you to read everything before you start. Read every single step. Familiarize with the process of building this thing. This goes for a new model or an old model. It doesn't matter. Here you're getting into the setup for the rudder system. And then we get into the motor. I see one of the motors right there. So this kit does have the motor with it. And then the whole drive system. Very cool. I gotta say, the instructions look good. And I don't think this is, they say remote control, but I'm wondering if it is suitable for radio control. So I think you could do it either way. You could put servos in it and a radio and, and a battery and all of that and radio control it. But I think you could also just set the rudders on the ship, and then you could put it in, whatever, if you live on a lake or whatever, or, and just let it go around in a pattern. And then when it drifts away from you, you better be wearing your bathing suit so you can swim out and get it. Depending on where you are, it might be very cold. Or if you're, say, in the Caribbean, it would be beautiful, So beware of that. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes. Here's some of the, man, these things are You can tell this is old. Look at that. Look at it. Looks like it was pulled out of grandma and grandpa's attic. The rubber bands are no good anymore, I can tell you that. We're going to find out what year. Oh, did it say the year in here? I just want to see if we have the year. Printed in USA. Usually they have a copyright. The Lindberg line since 1933. I don't see a date. Everybody always wants to know the date. That's usually the most exciting thing about the unboxing is what year was it from? I'm going to have to say early 70s. We're going to see if it's printed. Now let's look at the parts. Here's a one big sprue. The detail on this, you know what? It's not bad at all. It actually, the detail, if you can come in close and look, the detail is not bad. Now with good weathering, which is my favorite thing in the world to do, you could really make this look really cool. And I'm sure you could do your own, obviously you could do your own custom details and things for this to enhance it, you know, like rigging and making different things. And you could buy aftermarket stuff that would fit this, maybe not even for the same model, but just in general to get, you know, all sorts of different details that you could put on this boat, no problem, which would enhance the look. So far, that looks really good. Then we get into the next sprue. These are some of the cannons. You could drill all these cannons out right here, all the barrels, which I would do to make it a little more realistic. You have your big giant mask, you have your radar. This I would probably remake this. This is not very good, but I mean, it's okay, but not great. And that looks good. You know, so far, not too bad. Not the most detailed thing in the world, but here's part of your gear system and your props. It only has 2 blade props. I would have expected to see 4 blade props, but that's good. You could probably replace those too with brass props. You could find those online and replace those with actual brass, which I would do. Here we got another sprue. Nice big sprues. Things are falling off. But yeah, everything looks like it's here. Everything looks good. Again, I would drill out all my barrels of my guns. Here, I guess you have some rocket firing cannons. Not bad. Nicely detailed. Look at that. Let's turn this over. You got texturing on your gun mounts here. You see that? Your gun mounts. I gotta say, I'm not really disappointed with this as far as what I'm seeing so far. Again, here's your top of where the bridge and everything is, and it's got your raised seam lines, which would be, I'm pretty sure it'd be accurate. I've been on the battleship Massachusetts, and you notice a lot of weld seams and things like that. So I don't consider that a negative whatsoever. There's your smokestack, looking good. This is a nice looking kit. I wouldn't say it's an A+. Here's your life rafts, nice detailed. Everything's molded okay. Here's your lifeboats, obviously. Those don't look too bad. The detail on the lifeboats is good. I think from just looking at this so far, you could make a convincing model. Here's this, the USS, what the hell does that say? Melvin, DD, I thought this was the SS, wasn't this the SS St. John something or other? Why did they put the...
No, the
Blue Devil.
Blue Devil, that's the USS Melvin.
Oh, okay. That was the SS Blue Devil. There we go, the USS Melvin. My parents were going to name me Melvin. I don't know how they ended up on... Rick, but or the Pope.
I had a grandfather, Melvin.
Great name. I don't know. I guess that's part of the stand. This is part of the stand. Part of the stand. Not the greatest stand in the world, but you could certainly. I guess these are. I don't know what those are. There's another front. Another gun. couple little ladders. Everything's here. Now let's look at some of these. Are some of the control arms for the rudders. So those aren't all rusted out. Those are copper. Some copper. If you're hard up for cash, you could probably sell these for a couple bucks. You know, if your habit is calling you and you're like, hey, I'm out of money. I'm out of money. I don't have anything. But oh, wait, I got the USS Melvin. I remember there was some copper in there, and you could head down to the metal smelter and can get a couple bucks. Keep your habit going. So that's another plus of buying this model. I don't think Harry realizes there's some copper in this thing. So let's not tell Harry. We got wiring. I would imagine it still seems nice and flexible. You may want to replace this, but I don't. It seems to be pliable. It's not. There's no issues there. Now let's look at the power plant for the USS Melvin. Look at this power plant. Look at that. This is probably the same thing Tesla's using. What do you think?
Oh, I would think.
Yeah, probably. This will draw some. You know, look cool. If your battery runs out, you can go to your local Tesla charging station, charge her right up.
The possibilities are endless.
They're endless with this kit. Okay, I'm going to put everything back here, and I'm going to give you kind of my overall thoughts on this thing. It's nice to see. I tell you, the thing that I love. You know, you'll find a lot of vintage kits at like garage stores or thrift stores, and you get all excited, and you're like, wow, that is really cool. I'd like to own that. And then you, heaven forbid, you buy it, you get it home, and it's missing all the parts. And these parts, I can't imagine the parts for the USS Melvin are easy to come by. If you're missing something, probably not one of the most sought after model kits. I'm gonna guess. That's just me. This could be a very, very popular model amongst all the kids out there. You know, it could be one of the top gifts, you know, kids are asking for. Santa, you know, Mom and Dad, I want the USS Melvin, the Red Devil. 3 feet long. Here's my thoughts, closing thoughts on the USS Melvin, Blue Devil. I was trying to call this thing the St. John because I did an unboxing of that Revell that Katie gave me the other week, and if you watched me live, I did an unboxing of a Revell destroyer, and I'm getting it mixed up with this. So not the St. John or whatever the hell that was called. This is the Blue Devil, which is the USS Melvin. My thoughts on this: I'm pleasantly surprised, to be honest with you. You know, is it a modern model kit? You know, no, it's not. Do you have the ability to make this look like something special? By judging what's in the box, 100%. Could yours truly, the Pope of Plastic, put this together and have a very convincing, beautiful destroyer that you could put on the shelf? Absolutely, 100%. Could I enhance this to make this look even better? Is there anything there that would allow me? Is there a canvas there to allow me to expand my creativity? Yes, there is, 100%. Can you find aftermarket parts for this? Probably not for this specific model, but what I can tell you is there is a plethora on the internet and on Google. You don't even have to contact me. All you do is Google accessories for battleship in 1/300 scale, or whatever we figure this thing out to be. And there's going to be a million of them, from photo etch to resin, that are all generic, that can go on any of these boats. Back in the day, they traded, you know, different things, life rafts and all that kind of stuff are all kind of common to each one of the ships. So I'm sure there's a lot out there that you could buy to put onto this and make it even better. If you don't want to do any of that, can you still come up with a good model? Yes, I think it's all there. The only disappointment, and it's not even a disappointment, it has to do with the molding of the tines, is the radar screen at the top. I would replace that, and I would probably look for a photo etch set. Look, everybody hears me put down photo etched all the time, and I do. I hate photo etch, but on some things, especially ships, Photoshop. Photo etch can be a really good thing, you know, for railings and especially the radar assemblies. They tend to come out very, very good because they can do the part very, very finely etched out, and it looks very realistic. So I would probably look for a replacement for the radar system on this. The other things look great. The life rafts look fine. The guns look fine. You just need to drill out the barrels. I would drill out any of the portholes because it's a big scale model. So you don't want just a raised panel line that shows you that, oh, there's a hole, a bilge hole or whatever there. I'm not a ship person. I'm not a ship captain. So if I'm saying things wrong, I'm not an expert. I'm a model builder. I got to remind you all of that. He called that a bilge hole. That's not a bilge hole. That's a aft exhaust water extrusion unit. That's what I'll hear from people. I don't care. I'm just telling you, if there's a hole in the side of the hull, I would drill it out because it's a big scale. So you're going to see it, and it'll add to the realism. Then you put a little rust dripping down and all that kind of stuff. Overall, I think this will be an awesome kit. I'm going to tell you, just by looking at it, I think this would be an awesome kit. And you should build it. Unless you want me to build it for you, I'd happily build it for you. You can contact me through my website or send me a message here on YouTube. And I'd be happy to build it for you. But if you want this beautiful kit, the one featured in video number 3 of Vintage Unboxing Kits, you can get it here at Harry's Hobbies. Just call up Harry and say, Harry, the Pope unboxed the giant box of Lindberg cheese. I think it was the Blue Devil. Is it still available? And I can bet you there's not a giant line. At least a few minutes ago, there was not a giant line out the door for this, but once I do this video, there's probably, there'll be a mad rush to get this Blue Devil kit, I can imagine. But I would give him a call and say, hey, could I pick up that Blue Devil? And I'm sure Harry would say, hell yes, you can. And here's the price. And I'm not going to say a price because I haven't asked Harry what it costs. But the Hindenburg, I was pleasantly surprised. The original sticker on that box was $14.95, I think, if I remember correctly, looking back at it. And Harry, with inflation and everything, the thing's only $80. I mean, what a bargain. And I had a lot of people reaching out to me saying, wow, you should build that the Hindenburg, or whatever, the Zeppelin, Graf Zeppelin. Yeah, it's just like the Hindenburg. Yeah, I had a lot of people saying, hey, you should build it, you should build it, you should build it. Maybe I will build it. Hire me to build it. I'd be happy to build it for you. I'd be happy to build this for you as well. All I want to say is thank you to Harry's Hobbies, Collectibles, Toys here in Norton, Massachusetts. Like I said in the beginning of this, and I'll say it, I'll scream it from the mountaintops. One of the Pope's favorite hobby stores in the world. This place is fantastic, and you need to come here at all costs, whatever it takes to get here. I can hear your wife saying, we don't need to go to Harry's Hobbies, and you can say, listen, I put up with your crap long enough. I'm going over to Harry's. I don't care what it takes. I'm coming over to Harry's. I'm going to buy myself some miles. Like, you are not. Then get a divorce, okay? Because that's how important it is to come to Harry's Hobbies. This is important. This is a mecca. This is a mecca. And I don't use that word loosely on a lot of things. This is a mecca of the hobby world. And if you love the hobby, you will come and support local businesses like Harry's Hobbies. What do you want them to go? What are you going to start trading Pokemon cards? Is that what you're going to do? No, you need to stay in model building. And if you love if you even thought about model building, you need to start model building. You need to come to Harry's Hobbies. I mean, enough said on the issue. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Get here and buy this Blue Devil. It's recommended by the Pope of Plastic. It'll be a beautiful build. And
a thing of beauty is a joy forever.
That's right. It's a joy forever. Pokemon cards, where the hell are they going to be in 10 years? You know what I mean? This is a real hobby. This is what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? People collect, cars and all this stuff. This is what it's all about. Come on down. I've rambled on long enough. I could ramble on for hours. We're going to do another one of these next Friday. We do these every single Friday. Vintage model unboxings from Harry's Hobbies in Norton, Massachusetts. You better like and subscribe, please. I need subscribers. So please like and subscribe. Share this with your friends. Give me a message. Shoot me a message. I'll always respond to everybody. But we're going to do these every Friday. And in the meantime, I'm going to be building live on YouTube. We're building the M-Rap right now by RFM. But don't let that fool you. It's a trumpeter kit. And we got a lot of other great builds coming up. And I want you all to stick around, be a part of the community. But most importantly, support your local hobby shops, whether it's Harry's or somebody else. Just give them the money. We need to keep these shops alive. It's very, very important. Lastly, stop by my website, please, thepopoplastic.com, thepopoplastic.com. Got a lot of exciting things coming. I'm going to have my own line of model displays coming out. I'm working with Bulls & Co. out of the United Kingdom. And we're going to have an incredible line of displays coming out here very shortly. I just saw the prototype today. It looks beautiful. I'm doing some fun stuff with Zuke Mura. They just sent me the F4 Phantom that's not released yet. I'll be building that. They also are on my way. I get it Monday, a new Japanese fighter. I can never remember. It's not a Zero. But anyway, I'll be unboxing those soon, and we'll be building those soon. And remember, just contact me, shoot me a message if you want me to build a model for you. This is how I make my living, and I love this hobby. I want to spread the word, spread the news that model building is here to stay, and I'm here to make sure of it, and I want you to be a part of it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll do another one of these next Fridays. This is the Pope of Plastic signing off from Harry's Hobbies in Norton, Massachusetts.